Hi, this is Karen. I'm with inspiredbygram.com. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be making a fun fold card. Super easy, super quick. It just takes a different cutting dimensions and folding, scoring dimensions. And also what I'm going to do is I'm going to change up the focal point here. I'm going to show you how we can use some Whisper White and a different stamp. We're going to be using Love What You Do stamp set to kind of create this green image on our focal point. And on the inside, we're going to jazz that up as well because it's, you know, a little white. So did want to remind you that if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my email list. I have an April card club using the Path of Petals stamp set, and we'll be making 8 cards in the club for April, and they look like this, and we'll be making 2 of each designs, and all the information is over at my website inspiredbygram.com. So April 15th is the deadline to subscribe to that club. All right, so let's start making the card. All right, so we've got a bunch of supplies here. And I'm using the Peaceful Poppies Designer Series paper, and I'm using the really big pattern that's in that pack of paper. So I just cut it down, and it is a directional paper. So some patterns that aren't directional also work on this style of card. But when you're cutting directional paper, you'll just have to remember that one is going horizontal and one is going portrait. All right, so let's kind of take this apart here. And we're going to assemble the card. So this is your card base. Okay, it's 8.5 by, actually 8 1/4 by 4 1/4, and it's scored at 2 3/4. Okay, then you're going to need a piece of Designer Series paper, and this is from the Peaceful Poppies, and it's cut your standard 4 by 5 1/4. So what we're going to do is we're just going to add our adhesive on all 4 sides, and then we're going to adhere it down. There's no real pattern to this, just polka dots to the card base here, and a 1/4 inch border on all 4 sides. All right, super simple so far. So now let's do this piece here, and this is you'll need 2 pieces of the Designer Series paper, one for the left side. They're exactly the same size, and these are cut 4 by 2.5. So 4 by 2.5. And let's just put, I think I'm running out of snail. If we do, I've got to, yep, let me just grab another adhesive real quick. All right, so this one's going to go on the left side with a 1/4 inch border on all 4 sides. See, super easy. Now we're going to bring in this piece of Blackberry Bliss. This is cut 2 3/4 by 8.5. It's scored at 4 1/4. And we want this to go on the front side because it's going to get mounted on here, and this will be the front. All right, so we'll just take our adhesive, and again, on all 4 sides, and with a 1/4 inch border on all 4 sides. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to adhere this to the card base itself, and make sure your paper is going the correct way. You're going to open this up, and what I'm looking at here is about a 1/4 inch, maybe a little bit more, 3/8 inch, and then equal sides left and right, and making sure it's straight. And I'm just going to apply that down real good. And that's your flap for the opening there. Okay, so now we'll need to do some stamping. So I've got that piece. This is the inside piece here that's going to go on the left side. Now if you wanted to, you could put some more Designer Series paper on the inside if you wanted to. I think it looks perfectly fine. Okay, so that piece of Whisper White is 2.5 by 4. And we need our photopolymer, or we're going to be working with a photopolymer stamp set, and it's called Love What You Do. And we're making a thank you card today. I'm bringing in the Memento Black ink, and I just want to add a little bit of interest to the inside of that white. And I'm just going to stamp over here. Let's let that dry for a second. And I'm going to bring in my, let's go with a light rich raspberry. And I'm just going to color this in real easy. I'm not going to worry about any kind of shading. If you wanted to, you could add some Wink of Stella just to give it some little shine. Okay, and then that's green, and I don't have my green, so let me actually just show you a trick. I've got my Pear Pizzazz, which we're going to actually be using later on. I've got my Wink of Stella, and I'm just going to use the Wink of Stella in the corner of that ink pad here, just down at the bottom on the side. Actually, you could get away with it. And I'm just going to pick up some of that green ink and just put it down in that corner there. And then what you want to do is you want to make sure that your brush is clean before you use it again. Okay, super easy. All right, so now what we can do is we can add this one, and also you want to make sure you have something underneath you when you're using your blends, because as you can see, it did bleed through. All right, so you're just going to add your adhesive to all four sides and a 1/4 inch border. And I like to rub, just in case I have ink on my fingers. I want something protecting that. So now look at the difference. Just by adding that little flower there, looks really nice. Okay. So now we're getting there. We're almost done, but not quite. Okay, so now what we're going to do is bring in our Pear Pizzazz ink. We're also going to be using this background image here, and we'll be using a thank you. So I've got the light green Pear Pizzazz, and I'm going to want to stamp this off. Let's see, I need my scrap paper. You need a piece of scrap white. I'm going to stamp it off twice. I want a really light shade, and I'm just going to go this way. Okay. All right, so that looks nice, kind of like a watercolor effect. Now I'm going to bring in, and I know this is, you can get away with it if you don't have those other colors. I'm using Mary Merlot, and I'm stamping right in the middle of that green. Now what I'm going to do is bring in the Pretty Label punch, and we're going to punch this out. Any punch will do, any die as well, as long as it's big enough to punch out your sentiment. Okay, so now we've created this nice little green watercolor background with a bright Mary Merlot in the front. And we're going to bring in some dimensionals to pop it up. And I'm going to use 3 just because I don't want it buckling in the middle. And then just use your fingernails to give it a press and to release. And I just kind of throw those on my floor just because they're super hard to get in the trash. My vacuum cleaner will pick it up. So now I'm going to add my sentiment here. I'm going to put it down just carefully. I'm not going to really 100% secure it because I'm going to bring in this ribbon. Okay, and this is the glittered organdy ribbon. Really nice. You've seen me use this on a lot of my cards lately. And I'm just going to bring it all the way over. Now let me grab my ribbon scissors here, because I'm going to be making a flat knot, and I try to not waste my ribbon. So I think I'm going to need about this much. Okay, and now I'm going to turn it this way since I'm okay. And now I'm just going to create a flat knot, hopefully. I use my middle finger there to hold that knot in place, and then I'm going to grab that end and I'm pulling with the left side so I can get a flat knot. There we go. Okay, so that side is perfect length, and we just need to trim this right down. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slide this over just a little bit to the left. If you wanted to secure this not with a glue dot, you can do that, but I think mine's fine. So now I'm gonna just, I think this is good placement. I'm gonna just press it down real good. And we're done. So there's the card. Looks really cute. You could add some rhinestones, sprinkles with some sequins, whatever you want. I'm just gonna keep it like is. So here's a card I made yesterday, sending healing hugs. And it looks like this. And the one we just created together using Love What You Do stamp set with a little bit of watercoloring on the back side and a nice little flower in the middle. So I hope you learned something new and how you can change up a card to look something totally different. And for your Stampin' needs, please visit my website at inspiredbygram.com. I appreciate you. Thank you.